Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 243. I'm Ticketmaster, joined by.
Practical.
So yeah, no RPG yet again. Um, if you've been following him on Twitter, you'll know he's slowly rejoining civilization through the digital means and whatnot. But yeah, still on the podcast, so just another two-man show, and we got so much been playing. Maybe middle segment. Tropical might have another question. Who knows? And very slim pickings in the news this week. So let's get started with what you've been playing. Do you want to go first, Tropical, or do you want me to go first?
Uh, okay, let's go. Let's go with you.
Alrighty then. So start off with a new game I've been playing on the handhelds, which is Splunky. I was like, you're out of here. I never want to see you again. Don't call. And I'm blocking you on Facebook. And then I put in Sly Cooper Thieves in Time because I was like, well, it's like the latest game in the entry. I haven't played the second and third games, and I don't really want there to be any spoilers. But I was like, whatever, dude. I need something new to play, and I love me some Sly Cooper, and I'm very much enjoying it. So yeah, it's pretty cool because actually it's weird because I'm playing it with no sound and there's subtitles, but during the cutscenes there's no subtitles. So it's like there's sections where stuff's going on. I don't know what's happening. I kind of know what's happening from like what's on screen, but then there's stuff happening where I'm like, okay, what's happening now? And then there's subtitles. And I'm like, okay, I know what's happening. So it's yeah, kind of weird situation there where it's like the opening cutscene is like really long and involved, and I'm just like, no cut or no subtitles. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'll just pretend it's a really long storyboard and try to stick to what's happening. And it's cool because you end up in like the first chapter is you go to feudal Japan. Well, not feudal Japan, Japan in that universe. And it's cool because it's like, you get this Sly's relative is this like ninja dude and you got to break him out. And then after you break him out, you can play as him. So that's pretty cool. And it's also cool because each hub world you can switch between the three characters, Bentley, Murray, and Sly. And they have all their different abilities. And then it's like each hub world has like collectibles. So it's like very involved game because it's like I didn't know where this was going, and after the first hub world, which is a pretty long endeavor, you go to the next one, which is like Wild West style. So I guess you're just going to jump around in time here and like go to different settings, but it's cool because they're all different. And then in the open worlds environments that you're in, you have these they have collectibles. So there's like these clue bottles you can find. There's just like random treasure. There's hidden treasure, which you have to find with like your special abilities with your different outfits, because every time Sly meets up with one of his relatives from the past, he gets this like costume swap, and the costume has a power up that lets him do some like special ability. But yeah, I've been very much enjoying it, and I did get of course I got stuck. So I'm at this part where did I get stuck? I'm pretty sure I got stuck. So I went back to Japan because I was like, whatever, I'll just keep playing even though I'm stuck. Something happened. I don't remember what it was, but I'm stuck on something, and yeah, whatever. I went back to Japan. I was like finding all this stuff, so I'm still having fun with it. But I'm hoping I can overcome the whatever's blocking me right now because I got stuck on something. But I've been enjoying it up until that part. So, or even after I went back and I was like, let me just go around and find stuff and wander around and adventure time. But
You're playing it on Vita only?
yeah, I'm playing it on Vita. There is a cross save, or like when you load it up, there's a cross save option or something. So I'm wondering if you can just like carry your save over and it'll unlock everything or whatever how
Yeah.
that works. But I have not yet tried it. So yeah, I'm going to. I think I'll do that after I finish the game and then see if I can like just get instant trophies because that'd be great. And then,
Well, no, it's a shared
or if you
trophies
can just like.
list,
Oh, I see.
so
Oh,
there's
actually,
no.
that's the other thing is like there's a lot of touchscreen in this game because like I was playing it and I was like, okay, now I'm really wondering how do the controls carry over on the PS3 version because there is a lot of touchy on the front and back screen of like, oh, do this to do this and do this to do that, and I was like, I was not prepared for the amount of touchscreen in this game. 'Cause it's like touch this to change costume, touch this to do this,
Hmm.
touch the back screen to bring up the objective. I was like, whoa, but it's not. It's not like all super duper shoehorned in or like, oh, this doesn't need to be here. Some of it's cool, some of it's actually none of it's like been annoying so far. It's like yeah, I didn't expect it to have so much touchscreen integration. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm looking forward to playing the PS3 version to see like, oh, this is how this plays on console versus on handheld. But yeah, it's like everything in time so far. I enjoy it, and yeah, uh, if you're a fan, you'll enjoy it. So yeah. Let's see. Besides that, on consoles, so Ace Combat Infinity, still playing it every. It's okay. Okay, it's funny because I went from like playing it every day to being like, okay, I have other things to do, and in that other game that I will mention later, so I need to like cut down on the Ace Combat Infinity, even though I made a lot of progress actually. So basically, I'm so close to the F-22. It's like I can. Well, I'm not gonna say I can taste it because it's like I'm kind of at a part where I'm level gated to not be able to access it because I need to level up to captain before I can get to it. So I'm like level. I think I'm like first lieutenant 13 or 14 or whatever, and like you rank down from like the highest number to the lowest number. So it's like until I get to like the 1 and then get to the next rank, which is hopefully captain, I cannot get through this barrier. But besides that, I was able to get some other plane that completed this challenge for one of the tutorial challenges for some free fuel. So I got that. But then it was weird because I did that and then like it didn't have another one because in the beginning when you're doing all these challenges for the tutorial, it's like, okay, unlock this plane, okay, unlock this plane, okay, like unlock this plane. I thought I would just keep going and going and going to give you like some sort of like decent startup plane library, but or arsenal. But like the one I just unlocked before the F-22 that I'm on now is really awesome. The Typhoon, yeah! I was like, oh, so good. It's like, man, it is just like, yeah. It's weird because like all the stats on the game like are bar graphs, so you can like see how each plane compares to each plane really easily. And like when I got the Typhoon, it basically just was essentially better than every plane and everything else in like all the categories except for like a couple of them that are like specialized in like air to ground or air to air. So I was like, oh, well. Good thing that's the case because it was like 100,000 credits or something crazy, and I was like, oh, this is gonna take forever to unlock this plane, and I finally got it, and I was like, yes, it's so awesome compared to everything else, and I used it as my new primary. So now it's like, well, at least I have something awesome to use while I'm on that super long road to the F-22, because it's just like, oh, but then it's cool because like I'm close to getting the stealth bomber unlocked, so it's like I can see that on the horizon if I can just get enough credits for that. And then some other planes I can like finish out probably, but I'm gonna head and I think I'm just gonna like level up my planes because I have this challenge where I need to get 3 planes at level 5. And I have one at level 5 already, one's at level 4 I think. And now I'm like, do I want to level up the Typhoon or do I want to level up something lower that I know I can spend less credits on to get the level 5 faster? So I'll probably do that. So probably like the F-16 or maybe F-14. We'll see. But yeah, it's Combat Infinity. There was some sort of mini ranking event, and I got a lot of credits. So that was cool. So I was like, yes. But now I'm like, okay, if there's not a mini event going on, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna log in and then log out instead of log in and play because time is limited.
Almost August.
Yeah, it's almost August. However, I'm making progress. So yeah. But besides that, on PS3, I've also been Gran Turismo 6 and logged into that every day to see if there's new seasonal events, and there's new ones weekly. So this week's was another beginner, intermediate, and expert A-spec event, which is fun because it's like an overtake challenge of like you start in the last place and you have to work your way up to first place, and then you just try to pass every car that's in front of you, and you get depending on the credits or I'm sorry, first, second, or third, you get more credits, and you also get a paint color prize if you get in first place. So I was like, okay, and I did that. So that was nice. And then let's see, did I do anything else in that game? I don't think I did. I keep wanting to go back and like I'm like so close to getting that game done, but it's just like ever since I like stopped playing, I just haven't had the drive to go back and like relearn all the beginner skills that I kind of don't really have anymore. As like I slowly built up my skill level, because like once you like get the cars and they're awesome, it's like you can just rely on them to be awesome. You don't really need the skill, so it's like all the stuff like mission races or stuff like that, or like this really hard. The like one event I cannot get is like the Rain Masters, which is driving in the rain. So maybe if I just do like the license tests and all the mission tests of like driving in the rain, and I get really good at driving in the rain on wet roads, I can maybe finally do it. But it just kicks the crap out of me every time. And then besides that, let's see, the last game I've been playing, Mass Effect 3, of course. So making headway. So I can see, I said this last week, but for sure now, dudes, for sure effing now, it's like I got it. It's like, where's my list? So Firebase Jade, Firebase Jade done, Firebase Rio done, Firebase Reactor done. So it's like I got Goddess, London, and Vancouver, Ghost, Glacier, and Glacier Hazard. Glacier and Glacier Hazard, those are going to go by really fast because they're very small maps. So it's like they're whatever. They're the last two I'm going to do. Ghost, I did this morning. I was trying to find a room. I was like searching, quick search. I was like, come on, please let there's somebody be playing. And luckily, I found some other dude or people that are playing. And it was like, yes! And then I just stayed up until like 6 a.m. and I got like 70 waves done or something. So I was like 71 out of 100 on that one. That's like I can do that one after the podcast. Bam, splat, done. And then Goddess, I had 50 done over the weekend, and I was trying to get it. Goddess, it's like I could not find like yeah. I think after that whoever it was last week that was like just not shutting up. It mentally I was like, you know what? I don't want to play this map anymore. And I had a new strategy. I was like, I'm just gonna do like 50 waves on each map. That way I'll have to do half the map or like half. Wow, I'm sorry. If I do 50 waves on each map, that means I can just cycle through them and then do 50 at a time, and then I could get like super burnt out on them. Or if I come across a whole douchebag like that guy last week, I'll just be like, oh, whatever, I'll just switch to the next one. So that's my new strategy of not cranking them out 100 waves at a time, because it mentally does kind of eat away at you. So let's see, 100. Well, actually, I have like less than 100 on London. It's like I have 20 done already, so it's like that's 80. So 50, 130 on Goddess, and then 230 for Vancouver, 260 because I need 30 on Ghost, and I might have less than 100 on Glacier and Glacier Hazard. Well, Glacier Hazard for sure, because I know I already got some waves on a Hazard map. So let's see, that was 230 plus 330. So no more than 500 waves left of gold waves, and then I will be free. And not to mention, I have been promoting my characters as well. I've been doing this. I've been like cycling through them all to get them to level 20 and like promote them. And I recently got to, I think I don't know the number. I'll look it up while we're podcasting. But yeah, getting progress on that front too. So yay. I need 60 promotions. I think I have 38, or I have close to where I need like 20 more, which is like. It's like I'm sorry, getting excited. I'm no longer at where it's like you're just like, oh, I'll never get that N7 banner. It just takes forever. So many promotions, blah blah blah. I went from that where it's like over half. So it's like that's like the bottom descent to the bottom way easier. But yeah, 30 out of 60. So 22 left. But that first 30
final stretch
after this first 31, and you're like, oh yeah, over halfway. So yeah, 2 more, and like I've got the strategy. I'm not going to say because I don't want anybody that listens to this that might be plotting against me to steal it. That I've been able to more rapidly get my characters promoted. So yay, it's been working, and yeah, I can see the end. And I put up the Firebase Reactor quest for the best today, and I was like, yes, I'm almost there. Best of the best. Oh, and then I think it was a not premonition, but like a foreshadowing, because this morning when I was playing, there's a best of best banner person in there. I was like, oh, I'm close to joining that club. I can feel it. Yes. So yeah, and it gave me even more resolve to keep on going. And that's how I've been playing.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Mass Effect thing. It's like it reminds me of, like, the only thing I can relate to that is Warhawk. Just the achievements, the trophies in Warhawk are basically impossible. Very few people, I think, probably have the platinum. Oh, and I actually found a trophy on PlayStation Network that nobody has.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's
I thought
yeah.
you had it in your tweet, and I was like, oh, so you don't know?
No.
I was like, not even Game Rate 12? No way.
That'd be kind of cool, actually, if I could get it. But it's a fairly simple one. It just takes time. It's play 1,000 games of Versus in Towerfall Ascension. I was like, well, that's not too hard.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like the opposite side of difficult. It's not hard. It's just a time sink.
Yeah. It's just
gonna take a while.
Well, is Mass Effect hard for you? It's not, right?
Not anymore. No.
It's just like.
See, like at first I dreaded
200
gold. I was
more.
like, oh, gold is so hard. But then I was like, well, if you don't play any of the factions that can instant kill you, ...
Mm.
then it kind of takes a bit of that annoyance away of like, oh, I got stabbed by a phantom. Oh, I got gutted by a banshee. Oh, I got slammed by a brute. And like just, oh, I got crushed by an atlas. It's like, once you take that aspect away, it's like give yourself a bit of a handicap on the, oh, that'll never happen. It's still yes, it's still a trudge of, oh, they just keep coming at wave after wave after wave. Oh, the wave's not over yet. Oh, it's like just, oh, it mentally, it's just like, yeah, it can break you, but you can get there. I approve of it.
Is
I'm
there
not
any
there yet.
reason to play the higher difficulty? Like, is there anything past gold?
There's platinum. You get a ton of credits, but it's super hard.
Oh,
That's I guess
there's no
that's I
banner
guess
for
that's
that.
I guess that's the thing. Is like there's a the credits that you get is like so awesome. Like the amount is so ridiculous.
Hmm.
But yeah, there are like some sub challenges where it's like you only have to do them once or twice, and you can get like one third of the solo mastery done. But it's like
Hmm.
so not worth it.
So there's nothing like what you're doing in gold for platinum.
There is, but it's not. I think the thing is like the challenge points that you get are probably more than the gold or the silver or the bronze tier. But it's like if you're not worried about that and like being ranked number one, then it's like whatever, dude. I just want to get the banner.
Hmm.
Because it's like 100 waves of bronze is probably. Well, I could look it up. It's like 100 waves of bronze is not a lot. 100 waves of silver is probably not a lot either. 100 waves of gold is probably a lot, but then 100 waves of platinum is probably a ton. But it's like, not worth it. Nah, that's okay. I think that's one of the few challenges that has like stuff. Well, actually, no, there's other challenges that are like restricted by, or not restricted, but they like they tier them up so you can get like more on platinum versus gold. But it's like, I think only really, 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 really good people, or just insane people, or people that want to get a ton of credits play on platinum. So it's like for me, it's like dude, it's not worth it. No, thank you. Because even on like that difficulty, the way it's structured is that you get boss enemies from all the different factions, so you're not safe from instant kills if you play on platinum. So it's like it
Ah,
kind of negates my strategy because like there'll just be banshees warping around, there'll be phantoms. Yeah, it's like everything that I'm escaping from by playing on Gaz is like there to kill me instantly. So it's like yeah, that's okay, pass. It's like this is why I don't
all
play on
right then.
platinum.
Well, continuing from last week, I kept playing SimCity. The game is fun, even though it's really broken. The first, I don't know what the unit would be, but like they're really smart. In the beta, it was just the first hour that you got to play. So you got to play every city for an hour, and that part works. It's when you get to the later and there's more moving parts and the simulation is just there's a lot of things going on. That's when it starts to mess up and just make no sense at all. Um, so I started building. I claimed an entire region, so I have 7 little plots that I can make cities, and then I'm trying to use the thing that they kept talking about, where they weren't going to increase the city sizes. They're just like, oh, you're supposed to be able to network with, all the other cities, and then so you can have all the power plants in this one, and then all the residential in this one, and industry all in this one. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try that. So I started trying that. Um, First of all, you can't do it with just one. So your first city does have to have all the parts. So you need water pumps and you need electricity and just all the stuff. The second one, though, you can have basically nothing in it. And it was cool. The way I did it was I started the first city until it started getting into trouble. Like I think it's after you place down the town hall is when they decide we want everything now. We want police. We want fire stations. We want hospitals. We want all this stuff, and it's really expensive. Like there is no way that I can get all these things at this moment. Like, but you're telling me there's tons of criminals. There's tons of it's really bad. Like hurry up, build our city. Like forget you guys, and I just left that city and went to start a new one. And in the new one, I just plopped down. Purely by coincidence, I plopped down the exact right amounts of commercial, residential, and industry, and then just started buying my power and water, all that from my first city. and then I just left it. And it was really cool all the way up until like everything grew to like high density around the streets. And it was just in perfect equilibrium until that point. It was like, oh, it went to medium density factories, but the houses turned into medium density, and it was just it worked so well. It's like, oh, there's just like perfectly enough people are living here to work in every position, and they have just enough shops to keep them all satisfied, and we have just enough power, and it was just all working until it got to high density, at which point the factories just become insane. You know, they don't look that much bigger, but suddenly a factory that was run by like 200 people maybe needs over 1,000 people to work. And then all like, no, we don't have enough workers. And then the crime started up, and yeah, so that one just started going down the tube. But for a while, it was just a very simple way for me to just make money without doing anything, because the budgets were, you know, they're balanced and like, oh, we're actually making lots of income, so I'm just gonna sit on the city and watch it, and I don't have to do anything. If I do anything, I might disrupt it, so I'm just gonna keep it this way and keep making money, and then I'll send it to my first troubled city and try to fix things there. uh Yeah, it didn't really work. It just got worse and worse. Because the towers, I guess they did fix the towers. So for a while there was a problem with the mega towers where like you would put an apartment level and then a mall level right on top of it. And then the apartment level would start complaining, "Oh, we have no shopping. We need shopping." And then the mall level would complain, "We have no shoppers." And I was like, what, is the elevator broken or something? How come no one is going up to the floor above them? And, you know, we can fix our problems this way. But it was a bug. So that apparently has been worked out. I guess the way that SimCity works is when they fix bugs, it doesn't it takes a while for them to work into the system. So that's why my old city still has the really broken towers like that. But these new cities, like, oh, the towers seem to be working fine. Um, well, I didn't know this would happen, but apparently, if you have too many unfilled jobs in your city, then your people will start becoming overworked. So I guess it's like in real life, if you don't have enough employees at your store, you just start giving everyone really long shifts, and they're just there all the time. And yeah, that's what happened with that city, and it started going into decline. It's like, oh no, we're overworked, and everyone moved out of the towers, and they're all abandoned. And then, you know, if no one's paying the rent in the towers, they cost a lot to upkeep. It's like, oh man, so had to abandon the first two cities to start a third city. And this time I decided, it's like, I'm gonna try this Omega thing, which is it's like a new material they discovered in the expansion pack, the Cities of the Future. It's kind of cool. It has this function where, so originally the loop was industries ships out their freight to stores, and then Sims can buy stuff from the stores. And to get the money to buy stuff, they work in the factories. And so there's a loop there. With Omega, what happens is Omega factories start shipping Omega to industries. And once they ship enough Omega to those industries basically become owned and operated by the Omega Corporation. And then their freight that they send out to the shops converts all of the shops into Omega franchises. And once you get some upgrades and stuff like that, people who buy stuff from the shops become part of the franchise as well. So eventually, your entire city is run by the Omega Corporation. And you make lots of money doing it, which was
So
really cool.
they made it easier, essentially.
They did. I think at some point they may have decided, man, you know, the simulation just is not working exactly the way we want it. We can't really fix it to make it work perfectly, so we're just gonna, you know, the expansion is gonna be some cheats. So people kept complaining about, oh, the cities can only get so big, so we can only get so many people inside. There's basically only a few ways to lay out the city to get maximum population. And so one of the things in the expansion is mega towers, which you can fill with tons of people, and you just build upward. And so you don't need more land area. And then Omega is just, yeah, if everything is going to hell, then Omega, and you'll just be making tons of money. Which I am in my third city. So I've actually built 3 towers in that one.
It's like the city has been saved by Omega Corporation.
Yeah.
The other two, not so much.
I'm starting to think like, because originally, see, the downside of Omega is that it's a dangerous substance. So it causes more garbage. Apparently, it causes more air pollution and ground pollution, and just like lots of bad things happen with it. But you make a lot of profit from it. And you can actually do things. So yeah, originally I was avoiding Omega, just doing very green energies. And I opened the Academy, which is this place that researches these like fantasy technologies that will save the world. Like, oh, there's all this ground pollution here. We have a ground scrubber, and it takes pollution out of the ground and puts it in the air. And then you can get air scrubbers that can clean that up. And so you can and it turns the, dirty air into water.
It's funny
that goes back into the ground.
There are air scrubbers and Ghost in the Shell. They reference those. That's pretty cool.
So they just added lots of stuff that they couldn't really fix. They've just added things that if you buy the expansion, they will fix them for you. Like the traffic thing was always a problem. They couldn't really figure that out. So now you can get maglevs, which are these, magnetic above ground trains. And it's like, oh, it takes everything off the road. And then with Omega Corp, they make drones. And the drones can do lots of things. You can convert them into firefighting drones or police drones or medic drones. And it's like, oh, see, none of the emergency vehicles get caught on the street anymore because you're using drones and they fly.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And then another function of the drones is like, this is how you get your residents to become Omega franchisees. The drones shop for the Sims in their homes, so they never have to leave. So that takes traffic off your streets also. It's Amazon drone, but they already did it. Omega Corp.
Now I'm wondering, why don't we have firefighting drones? That makes so much sense. It's like we didn't have to worry about sending people in the fire. They can just send a drone in.
Yeah, I guess that's...
Or as support.
I think there may be some technical hurdles that have yet to be overcome with something like that. But yeah, they could totally, like the forest fires out west.
Yeah, just in like a whole squadron of drones.
Yeah, instead of missiles, just put water bombs or whatever on them. CO2 bombs. So yeah, like the last thing I'm gonna try next is once you upgrade Omega Corp enough, you can actually send out Omega to other cities that you're connected to, and it will start. It's sort of like the assimilation conversion process that happens in the one city. Once you have this regional influence, then you can do that to other cities, and then those cities start making profits off of Omega, and you make profits off of those Omega, and it's just like, yeah, it's a big money making operation. It's like, oh, this might be kind of cool, and it's a game, whatever. I'm playing around. It's fun. Sometimes it's infuriating and really broken, and you just don't understand because it'll be like the house across the street from the school. They'll continuously complain, hey, we miss going to school. We can't go to school. Like, it's right there. I put 2 bus stops outside your house too. I don't know how to help you. Lots of stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty fun. I like it. What else? I guess I didn't really play anything complete. I went to a developers conference over the weekend. Got to meet some local developers and play their games. One of the, or so, some of them were really early, so I guess I won't really talk about those. But there was two. One of them, I think they were greenlit, so they're already on, or will be on Steam. And the other one, were they greenlit? Anyway, I think both of them are going to be on Steam. Unfortunately, not until next year at some point. But they're looking really good, and it's just like, wow, this game, Lacuna Passage, is made by two guys and a bunch of volunteers, so seven people maybe, and it's a really good looking game. It's set on Mars. It's basically Gone Home in space. So it's that type of first person walk around and sort of absorb the narrative and see these really nice environments type game. And yeah, it's very impressive how it looks. I think that was the thing that struck me, is like, wow, it looks amazing. It's using like real topographical sort of maps of Mars, and they went for a realistic art style, so it looks like what Mars actually looks like. And yeah, there's some sort of mystery, like some crew went missing, and now you're sort of lost on the surface of Mars, and there's dust storms and stuff like that, and yeah, you're trying to figure out what happened to these people. And
It's funny you're trying to go while you're saying that. I was thinking Far Cry, Mars Station. Like, what would that be like? You went to Mars, but then I was like, well, I guess there's nothing on Mars, so never mind. But if there was, that would be a weird intro.
yeah.
The shuttle, we're having issues. It's always yeah, they have the crazy opening. And it's like, oh yeah, then you're effed.
Yep.
Well, dust storms on the horizon.
But yeah, it looks really good, and I'm looking forward to it. That kind of game has been pretty popular. Or I don't know if it's been popular, but it's certainly made an impact. People remember Gone Home. To a lesser extent, I think the Stanley Parable is something like that. It's just that you can't talk about it, and so no one does, and that's why you never hear about it. Man, that game. Also, Dear Esther was an earlier one, and I guess everybody's gone to the Rapture is going to be something like that, maybe.
Have you played Gone Home Tropical?
Uh, Not all of it yet. I
Okay.
played.
Because I
Actually, I have no
I
idea
haven't
how
played
far.
Dear Esther yet, but is it more like Gone Home or more like the Stanley Parable? Because I've been wanting to play it, or is it just its own thing?
I think Dear Esther is more like Gone Home.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what that one is. The other one is something called Lemma, I think is how you pronounce it. It's basically Mirror's Edge combined with Myst.
What?
And yeah. The aesthetic reminded me, when I was playing it, it reminds me a lot of Myst. You're sort of in this strange fantasy type world made out of just rocks and different materials, and you don't really know anything about where you are. But so yeah, that's like Myst. And then the other part of it is you can move around and parkour and stuff like in Mirror's Edge, and it works really well. How do I qualify that? I don't know. It plays really well. I think it's still kind of early, but yeah, the parkour all works really well. There was a guy there who was like, "Oh," he was asking, like, "Oh, where'd you get your parkour reference? Like, do you guys parkour or anything?" And they, no, we just watch videos and stuff, and obviously Mirror's Edge. But yeah, that guy was like, "Oh yeah, well I do it, and it does look like that. um, I think. Oh, I don't think this one has even less combat than Mirror's Edge. In that, I don't think there is any. The story is something like there is a physicist, and you're also a physicist, and the first physicist found this sort of fantastical world, and it's all different and weird, and the second one sort of followed him into it without the first physicist's consent, and then it's just like, I don't know anything about this place. This is really strange. And then, yeah, I guess you're running around and you pick up notes and you're trying to find the other guy. Oh, there was something else about it. I can't remember. Why can't I remember? I don't know. It played really well. It looked really good. Oh no, this is one of those voxel games. Like everything is made out of little cubes, and they did that because later on, I think you get this ability to generate cubes, so you'll be able to make your own parkour surfaces as you're parkouring. So like you can be in a wall run, and then the wall runs out, and you can make more wall in some fashion. I didn't get to see it in motion, but that's what they were saying, and it's like, oh, that's pretty neat. Are you hankering for Mirror's Edge?
Yes.
Yeah, I think people are. I think that's why this game has a pretty good chance. If it comes out before Mirror's Edge, then because as far as I can remember of Mirror's Edge 1, which I haven't played in a long time, it plays very similarly. It works. The like little nuances of Mirror's Edge's controls, and just all the stuff that you could do, like when you land, you can roll to avoid damage, and just lots of stuff in that game. It's like it has that sort of stuff in here, except it's more puzzly, and you're not really sure where to go. And so when you sort of choose a path, you are enabled because of the parkour to get to basically wherever you want to go. And it's like, oh,
It's kind of like kind of reminds me of Metroid Prime because it's like it takes all the mechanics of Samus, but it gives you it in first person. So you have like a double jump, you have the grappling hook, but it's always in first person. So it's like it gives you like a new perspective, and because of that, it feels so refreshing because
yeah.
the first person shooters do that. So it's like, oh, if you just gave us more like move, and like it like works well with the puzzle game, like you're saying, 'cause it's like you have all these like how do I